Hey, this is Ebola with LTAPerformance, and in this video, you will discover the 5 reasons why you aren't losing weight. Now, losing weight is hard, and it's extremely harder if you're doing the wrong thing. I'm going to tell you the exact methods that you need to do to lose the weight for good and what you need to avoid to make that happen. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. So I've been in this industry 8+ years and I've helped hundreds of people be able to lose weight. And I see what holds people back from not only losing the weight, but keeping it off. So I'm going to make sure that you understand not just losing the weight, but how to keep it off. So if you've been going at this for a while, make sure you listen up because I'm going to go into those 5 reasons that you aren't losing weight. And it starts off with number 1, you're not in a calorie deficit. So if you tell yourself that, hey, I'm eating less calories and I should be losing weight, you need to tell yourself you aren't in a calorie deficit. No matter how it may seem that you are, you aren't. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body will burn the stored fat that's in your body. So that fat that you want to get rid of, I'm talking about that belly and the unwanted other places, it will burn it when you're in a calorie deficit. So why aren't you in a calorie deficit? Well, probably you're not keeping track of what you're actually doing with your eating. Now, I'm not saying you always have to do calorie counting, but you do need to follow templates that's going to make you successful. So I make sure with my clients, I give them templates and I do give them tools that they can use to count calories because you need to track what you're actually putting into your body. And to not be confused as well, everything, not just food, but what you drink as well, because drinking can allow calories to go up. And I'm not just talking about alcohol, I'm talking about anything that may have calories in it, which I will get to within this video as well. But you have to actually know what you're putting into your body. So if you're telling yourself, hey, I'm only eating 1,200 calories or I'm only eating 1,000 calories, I'm going to tell you you're not. Because if you were, you'd be losing weight. You would be losing weight if you were in a calorie deficit. The reason why you may think you're losing weight because you probably are conscious throughout your day on maybe 1 or 2 meals, but you're not conscious on some of the other things you're putting in your body. So when you don't do that, you actually think, well, I'm in a deficit, but you don't keep track of maybe every little bite you have, maybe every little snack you may have throughout the day. You don't keep track of, like I mentioned, maybe how much coffee you may be drinking in the morning or, on the weekend when you're putting back some of your favorite cocktails or beers. You might not be keeping track of that. So you need to be in a calorie deficit to actually lose the weight. You need to tell yourself that is what's stopping you from losing weight is not being in a calorie deficit. You're not going to lose weight without burning more calories than you're putting into your body. So how does that calorie deficit happen? Well, I want you to think on the nutritional side. The nutritional side is your best way to get in a calorie deficit. Yes, you can burn more calories, of course, working out, being more active throughout the day, but you want to think of those more as bonuses because the most work you can put in and be in a calorie deficit is going to be within your nutrition because it's very easy to take out 500, 1,000 calories that you're currently doing your diet versus trying to do that to burn off because it's going to take a lot of work within what you may do in a workout to do that. And it may actually do more damage than good because you may be too burnt out and it may make you too hungry after putting in that much work. So I want you to focus on what you do within that diet. And remember that diet is the food you put into your body, what you drink in your body. Remember those things. That is how you're going to get in a calorie deficit is taking in less than you're burning. So yes, you do need to exercise. You do want to be active. Those are going to help. But you do need to focus on a diet to get in that deficit because when you're not in a deficit, you may step on the scale 1 week and lose 1 pound. Then the next week you're back on. And I'm even accounting for weight fluctuations. But what can happen is your scale isn't showing progress because you're not in a deficit. And even if you're looking at maybe inches to track within your body, you're not seeing much changes. Same thing, you're not in that actual deficit. So you need to make sure you're in a deficit. Remember, you got to burn more calories than you're taking in to be able to lose weight. So great way to help yourself is doing a food diary, keeping track of what you're eating, using an app like a MyFitnessPal to keep track of your calories, using meal templates that you can get that's going to tell you how to structure your eating. Of course, you could follow meal plans as well that may be offered as a service for you. So there's different ways you can do it, but you need to make sure you're in that calorie deficit to lose weight. If not, you're not going to see the progress. Number 2 is you snack often. So this is part of the reason you're not in calorie deficit, of course, but this is a big thing you need to focus on as well. So I'm guilty of it as well with snacking, that I can snack sometime mindlessly because of certain habits we have. I know for me, it's watching TV, watching a movie, being up at night because I'm not going to sleep on time, and I feel like I got to do something, so I snack mindlessly. So the way to help yourself with that is understand good habits are associated with other good habits. So what you can do to help yourself is, one, make sure you're not staying up late, because the more you stay up late, the more you're going to snack and crave because your body's awake. That's one thing that you can do to really help yourself. And as well, if you've established habits, just like I've mentioned myself of when I maybe watch TV or movies, that I'm going to snack mindlessly, a good thing you can do to help yourself with that is to be conscious, to understand, what exactly you're doing. So just as I mentioned before, to get in that calorie deficit, counting, what you're going to do with your snacks, so you're making sure you're not overeating with your snacks to keep in check as well, because it's not that you can't snack, but you need to make sure that you're being conscious of it. Substituting your snacks with better snacks that are going to be more friendly for your calories. Instead of, a bag of chips or, the candy bar, the cookies, how about going to things that are lower in calories, like something that's high protein option, if that's maybe a shake or a protein bar, or, something such as rice cakes, which is one of my favorite snacks. So looking for things that can help you, Greek yogurt, snacks that are going to fit with your goals better is a big thing. And this is going to be the most important one, and I saved it last within the point of why you're snacking often, because this is very important. And this is what I really focus on with my clients, is to make sure that they're properly fueling their body so they're not craving these snacks. So one thing about snacks you do need to understand, hunger is going to force you to want to have more snacks. Yes, cravings have a part in that. Like I said, that's more about appetite, and that's why I said some of the other habits you may be doing is the reason you're snacking often. But really, you need to make sure that you're fueling your body properly. What I mean by that is the food that you have, like your main meals, they need to actually keep you full. They need to make sure that you're not going to be hungry or seeking other snacks. And if you can do this is how you snack less. So I noticed with clients when I'm first working with them, they've been eating foods that are not fueling their body. So, they get hungry. It's midday, right? It's midday during the work day. You've already had maybe one meal, but you didn't really, put the right fuel. If that's either you didn't eat enough calories, or you put in foods that are very high in calories but low in actually keeping you full. So they have you hungry again. And that's when, hey, I'm going to reach for that bag of chips, or hey, I'm going to reach for that candy bar because it's right accessible. Yes, of course, you can make sure that you don't put those snacks in front of you, which is a thing I would tell you as well. But your body's going to look for those food sources when you're not properly fueling your body. But if you can properly fuel your body with the right type of foods, what happens is you're not going to look for those. You're not going to crave those because your hunger is in check. You're going to focus on other things that you need to do throughout the day that's going to help you be productive. So a reason that you probably are snacking often, like I said, you can have the other bad habits, which I mentioned. That's why you want to do things to help you with that. But a big reason is you're not fueling your body the right way. If you can fuel your body the right way, you're going to snack less. So make sure that you put that right fuel in your body so you're not hungry. Number 3, and this is a big one, is you have cheat days. I am totally against cheat days. I don't even like to hear that word in the vocabulary of my clients or anybody that comes in front of me, because I tell them, like, hey, associated cheat days is creating a negative relationship with you and food. Now, just like you need a healthy relationship with all other things in your life, if that's your family, your friends, your spouse, these things are important, right? Well, you have to work on it the same way within food. So if you tell yourself like you're cheating on your diet, what are we still cheating with? Cheating on a spouse, which is like the worst thing you can do, right? Cheating on a test maybe in school, which we know isn't right because you're not actually doing the work yourself. You're cheating off of someone else. Cheating to give yourself an unfair advantage. You know, if we think about in sports, right? We don't like when you hear athletes that use performance enhancing drugs and the other athletes are clean. Now they have an unfair advantage, right? That's not fair, right? We know cheating is wrong. So if you associate cheating within your diet, what is that setting you up to do? When you cheat, you're going to go all in and cheat. And after that, you're not going to feel good. You don't feel good when you give yourself cheat days because you feel like, oh my gosh, I just ate all these things. Or man, I just drank so much alcohol right now. Like you're going to have all these negative feelings from having the cheat day. So what I've seen happen is someone does really great, right? They do really great all week because they're following a very restrictive diet. There's a reason for another debate, really within the video, why I would say don't have restrictive diets. I'll kind of cover that in previous videos, so be sure to check out that on my YouTube channel and see other videos of why restricted dieting isn't the best. But when that happens, like I said, you do really well all week, and then, oh man, it's cheat day. Now, all the work you did all week is gone. Because when you do a cheat day, you're not focusing on, how many calories you're eating. You're like, nah, this is my cheat day. This is my chance to rebel on my diet. I can eat whatever I want all day. I can drink whatever I want. And I'm going to do it also because someone told me a cheat day works. And I'm sorry to hear that. I know other coaches have used cheat days or other people that say they're very successful. I don't care if they're a bodybuilder or wherever they are. Those don't actually work for most people because they don't have the discipline to develop that within understanding a cheat day philosophy. It's not the right philosophy to adapt. And so really that gives you a wrong attitude, really negative, and doesn't help you. So, and that one day, whatever you did all week is wiped out, gone, because you just went all out. You didn't care what you were doing. And like I said, because you feel guilt after, usually after cheat day 2, you're going to binge a little bit more. Because you're like, well, man, I just seen, you step on the scale. You're like, I just saw all my products go out the way. Then you're like, man, why even care? And the next day you're going to follow with another binge. And you look at yourself looking guilty. You either stop or you're going to get back on maybe later, but it doesn't help you. So let's get rid of cheat days. Like I said, cheating is a negative type of thing that you understand. Like I said, we associate anything with cheating as nothing as good, right? If a cheat day was good, why would you use the word cheat? Cheat has not been associated with anything good for any other part of your life. So if you think cheat days help you within your diet, you have to really look at yourself and say, what does that word mean to me? What does cheat mean? It sure is not going to help you with that, right? So you need to be aware of understanding. Let's remove negative words. Let's not say bad foods, because the same thing, you associate that with bad and it doesn't help you whatsoever. You get rid of cheat days and you understand that, hey, I can enjoy higher calorie foods within moderation. I can understand how to do that within my diet. I don't have to follow a restrictive diet. Then you're going to see some great results. So like I said, you need to check out some previous videos for that. If you haven't checked it out, of how I understand that the restrictive dieting lifestyle could be causing those issues and why you feel like you need a cheat day. So let's get rid of those cheat days, okay? And number 4 is empty calories. Now, empty calories is a big one. I've kind of touched on this within this video so far of telling you how you need to be in a calorie deficit, right? How you need to make sure that you're properly fueling your body so you're not really snacking crazy, right? This is a big one because empty calories are typically the things that you're not aware of and you're not understanding the damage it does within your progress. So we want to talk about empty calories. I know a big one, and this is something that you probably already heard of, and is alcohol, right? Alcohol isn't benefiting you at all with anything with your body, right? It's a poison for our body, and our body needs to get rid of it. Also comes with a lot of different calories and a lot of bad judgments after it, that it goes outside of nutrition. But like I said, we'll leave that to another discussion. But basically, you have to think of it this way. Empty calories are not serving you, and there are things you need to look at to make sure you're not doing. Now, I'm not here to say that you can never enjoy an alcoholic beverage. Trust me, guys. I like some alcohol myself, but I understand how to control it and not make it be a part that's frequent within what I do, putting stuff in my body, right? Consuming what you're consuming. The reason why is, like I said, for one, is the poisonous effects it can have on your body, but really what it does with the calories. Like I said, alcoholic beverages, it's not gonna like stop you where you're gonna really feel full, so you can really put some back. I mean, just in alcohol alone, you can be, pushing 1,000+ calories. I know, especially some of these alcoholic cocktails nowadays. I've seen some drinks that are like 1,000 calories in one drink because they have, so much alcohol in it. They might have like 4 shots of a liquor, in it, and then plus with how much sugar they might have and other stuff with it. So that's another thing you need to account for is within alcohol, is especially if you're doing cocktails, is the alcohol alone is going to have a certain amount of calories, right? And then you got to equate for when you're putting other things within it, especially very high in sugar, a lot of these beverages, how many calories are you going to actually see with that? And then, like I said, when you're not understanding how to enjoy it in moderation, you could be putting a whole back a 6-pack of beer like nothing, or, like I said, having a few cocktails where they're not like small cocktails, they're very big, and, the calories are going up, up, up. So you need to understand that, I want you to still enjoy it from time to time, because obviously I think in moderation it's fine. Like I said, I enjoy alcoholic beverages. I allow my clients to enjoy alcohol beverages, and when they understand, like, hey, you can have the occasional cocktail, occasional beer, and understanding with that within reason. But when you don't, it's getting too crazy where the calories is going up. A big one as well is coffee. I know for many of us, we run on coffee, so we need that each and every day. I kind of touched on in another video of how you can reduce your reliance on coffee, so be sure to check that out within this YouTube channel as well, because I would want you to be a little bit less reliant on coffee, because you can actually benefit yourself the right way to get more energy where you don't feel like you have to drink as many cups of coffee. But really, coffee is a big one that causes empty calories as well, because coffee on its own, guys, is very good for you. Like, it's very good for you. It has a lot of antioxidants in it. But the problem is how we've changed, coffee to be almost like a dessert. And what I mean by that is, if you just drink a regular cup of coffee, you're looking at 5 calories. But when you're putting all this crazy amounts of other stuff in it, right? We put in all these whipped creams, some extra stuff where it's like ice cream now. And then they're not just like a standard, 8 ounces. Now they're like 24, 32 ounces, right? And you've got all that sugar in it. And you're drinking these, like I said, at some of these places where you can get this stuff, you're looking at, way more calories than you're intending it for to be, because you say, hey, I want a little boost, but now it's not going to the little boost. You're treating it like it's a meal almost with some of these coffee drinks. And like I said, if you're relying on it and you have to drink so many cups of coffee a day, like I said, the calories are just going up and up and up, because often, there's special, creamers that you may like. They're not, the most conscious for your calories, because they're a lot more fat in it than you may think. And then, like I said, depending on how much sugar you may put in it, it's adding so much. So like I said, I mean, if you can understand how to keep the coffee to a minimum, not being over reliant on it, and you're not putting all the extra stuff, then it's going to be good for you. But I've seen how these coffee drinks are adding so many more calories than you're expecting. And now, instead of keeping your calories in check for the day, it could be wiping off, the amount of pounds you can lose. You got to remember, it's a compound effect of these things, because think about what you may consume in a year's time. And if you weren't consuming that in a year's time, think of how many pounds you would lose. So you got to think of it that way. And it's not just, I may have this drink once a day, but think about over time, especially when it has all these extra calories in it. Big one as well, and of course I wouldn't forget it, is sodas. I understand, like within sodas, that you may only like the ones that have sugar in it. Like I said, I don't want to take this video to something else, because there's another discussion I know how people might think about artificial sweeteners. But there's good data to say that it's not having the negative effects that other fearmongers may use on it. So it could be easy from, those calories that are going up and up and up in the sodas to choose the 0-calorie sodas. But I do understand, like I said, I've worked with a lot of clients. I know a lot of clients have told me, hey, I don't like those artificial sweetener sodas because they don't taste the same. It doesn't taste as good. Like, I need the sugar. I need sugar. Right? I've, of course, heard that. I know for myself, there are some better ones that 0-calorie drinks that taste good to me, and I know there's some that I wouldn't drink. But like I said, you have the right to your own preference. I want you to customize your diet to you. So I'm not going to tell you to drink something you just don't enjoy at all. But same thing within what I said with coffee. I wouldn't say that you can never enjoy a soda because, like I said, your life is meant to be enjoyed. But what you need to do is understand how to cut it, right? Cut it. You can't be having 4 sodas a day, 3 sodas a day, right? We need to get that down to, 1 a day or maybe 1 so often, right? You need to work on that because, like I said, these are empty calories. It's not going to benefit your body. Your body is not going to benefit from that fuel of soda and be able to crush your day, right? You're not going to be a high performer with that soda. Like I said, it may have some caffeine in it, just like coffee, which I said may be beneficial because there are some benefits of caffeine. But when you're doing too much of it, then it's not beneficial, right? And this is why you can have a lot of empty calories. So let's work on that, right? We don't want a lot of empty calories, so let's cut it down. Very important that you watch that if you want to be successful in not only losing weight for your goals, but keeping it off. Because you got to remember that if you go back to some of these bad habits that we're covering within this video, then whatever weight you lose, you're going to gain more than you just lost. So this is important. So same thing with these empty calories. Like I said, you got to watch. And lastly, number 5, and this is the most important, and I saved it because I wanted to give you the most important one, is no consistency. Consistency is everything. No matter what you want to improve in life, if the consistency is not there, you're not going to have that success. It's all about that consistency. Consistency is what makes you successful. Successful people understand the power of consistency. They use it each and every day to keep growing and getting better and better with the results. You got to get consistent. So, everything I covered so far in this video, it plays into consistency, right? Because if you're not consistent within getting that calorie deficit, what happens, right? You don't lose weight. Or once you lose the weight, what happens? If you're not consistently maintaining your calories where you're at, instead of a calorie deficit, now you're in a calorie surplus, and now that's why your body's going to gain calories because it's going to keep gaining and gaining. But consistency to have the right diet for yourself is what helps you lose the weight and then keep it off, right? So if you're not consistently getting a calorie deficit, you're not going to see weight loss, right? If you're not consistently controlling your snacks, right, and you're snacking too often, you won't get in a deficit, right? If you're not being consistent with understanding what you're putting in your body, right, you have cheat days when your calories go out the window and now you're not seeing progress, you're not consistently being in that calorie deficit or understanding how to be in a calorie deficit for the week, now you're not seeing progress, right? If you're consistently doing the wrong thing, like we just mentioned within the empty calories, right? You're pushing back too many coffees, too many alcoholic beverages, sodas, right? Now you're consistently putting in the wrong things in your body, and now you're not going to be a calorie deficit. So you could be doing consistently the wrong thing or consistently the right thing. That's the thing you need to understand. Consistency is working either for you or against you. That's the truth. You could consistently be doing the wrong thing or you could consistently be doing the right thing. I challenge you to do consistently the right thing. Consistently build the habits that you need and consistently understand that you're not perfect. So that's the thing you need to understand with consistency as well. Consistency doesn't mean that you're always 100% successful. I love using sports because I love sports, so I'm going to use a sports analogy here. Baseball, right? I think baseball is the best example for any consistency in sport because you can look at a batter's average to see how well someone is consistent versus how well someone isn't consistent. So the best batters, the Hall of Fame batters, the best batters you can look in the league, they're not always hitting, right? They're not hitting every game. They're not hitting every day, right? If you look at the history, I think the longest history is 55 or 56 games. So it's not like somebody's getting a hit every game, right? But what happens is the ones that have the best batting average are more consistent versus the ones that don't have the best batting average. So if you think of it that way, is hey, one day I'm probably gonna hit, the ball 3 times or 2 times or 1, but I'm gonna have a couple times within the week, I'm probably gonna strike out, right? I'm probably gonna strike out a couple times, not get no hits. But what happens is the ones that are more consistent, they show up more and more with the right attitude to get to hit the right day, right? They're not gonna use, oh man, like I said, you can have a bad week. Trust me, you can have a bad week. It all happens, right? I've had bad weeks. You can have a bad week, but how do you bounce back after that? Because if you're consistent, you're gonna use consistency for you to come back with the right energy to now kill it. Like I said, it could be a batter that's a great batter. Yes, he's very talented, but he's developed that talent because the skill of being consistency, right? Within practice and different things he may do. But he may have that bad week. What he's going to do, he's going to follow up with a really good week and a couple of good weeks after that, and that batting average goes up, and that's why his batting average looks really good, right? And he's very successful. You have to think of it that same way with you. If you show up more times than not, and you don't let bad days get to you, you keep showing up and being there to be consistent, then you're going to win. That's how it works within your goals. Remember, your goals are right now, but it's your lifestyle. You are working on your lifestyle. Successful people understand that. People are wealthy because it's a lifestyle. They're not rich because, hey, you could be rich in this year, but you could be broke the next year because you're not building wealth. But somebody that's wealthy understands that, and they're continuing to build that wealth. They're going to continue to build the habits that are going to help them. They understand that to how to make it work for them versus against them. So consistency is everything. So that goes for all your habits, but this one is focusing, of course, within what you do for the weight loss. But you got to understand that. Show up, have the right attitude. If you have bad days, hey, it was one day. What did you learn from it, right? What did you learn from it? How can you come back better? What can you grow from it? Remember, consistency works for you. So the reason you're not losing weight, you're not consistent. You're not consistent to where you may think you are. You need to be better with your consistency, and you will see those pounds go away and also stay off you. So let's recap. Remember, the 5 reasons why you aren't losing weight. Number 1, you're not in calorie deficit. Remember, you may think you're eating less calories. Numbers show that most people are going to underestimate how many calories they're actually eating. So you need to make sure that you're keeping a track of it until you can build the habits to understand exactly what you're doing with your diet. So within as a food diary, using meal templates, using an app that calculates your calories, using services that keep track of it within meal prep or whatever it is. You need to make sure you're in that calorie deficit. Number 2 is you snack often. You got to work on the habits that will stop you from snacking often. Like I said, disassociate with other habits that make you mindlessly snack. Making sure that you're putting better snack options with you. So when you do snack, you're not going to have too many calories. And remember, you got to fuel your body correctly. You got to put the right fuel in your body. So make sure that you're putting good fuel in your body so you don't have to snack, right? This is a big one. Number 3 is cheat days. Remember, cheat days are crushing your progress. Cheat days are what allows you to binge, and when you binge hard. And binging hard is not going to allow you to progress. Remember, remove cheat days from our vocabulary. If you remove that from your vocabulary, you won't associate it with doing things that are destructive for your body. Remember, cheating is nothing good within what we do in our life. So why would you use the vocabulary of a cheat day or say it's okay to cheat on your diet when you know that's not benefiting you? Remove that. Understand how to enjoy some of your favorite foods within moderation, how to balance your diet. That's where you need to go to, right? Number 4, and this is a big one as well, is those empty calories. Remember, alcohol, coffee, sodas, anything you could think of that maybe else as a drink, if you want to put milkshakes or anything, a smoothie in that, You need to make sure that you're not putting these empty calories in your body frequently. So understand how to enjoy alcohol in moderation. Choose, the right servings for alcohol. Same thing within coffee, right? Let's understand coffee is good for our body within the right moderation, but we can't be reliant on it. We can't be putting all the extra stuff in it. Same thing with sodas, right? We need to monitor. We need to make sure that we're controlling it. Very important there that we can control the amount that we're putting in our body. Like I said, empty calories are not helping your diet. That doesn't mean you can never have these things, but understand that this has to be minimal, that you're putting these things in your body. And remember, the fifth thing and the last thing we just covered is that consistency. Remember, consistency is what's going to lead to your progress, right? Consistency is what's going to give you the healthy lifestyle you dream about. Consistency will allow you to accomplish all the goals that you set in front of yourself. But you got to let it work for you. Remember, you're either consistently doing something wrong or consistently doing something right. So consistency will work for you or work against you. Choose the right consistency to make you successful. So, I know I just went in a lot for you guys to go over the 5 reasons why you aren't losing weight. I want to hear why this video was either helpful for you or it wasn't helpful for you. I want to know, what are you currently working on, or what things did you take away that's going to help you not only lose the weight and keep it off for good. So be sure to like and subscribe and watch the next video.